The word realtor belongs to a developer. No. The word realtor is a trademarked word. Trademark to NAR. So you will not find this word in dictionary also. So now if you look at the agent, agent works for the broker. So agent represents one party, broker represents two parties who can mediate.
Correct.
Now you got to have a consultant who is different, advisor is different. But this is so layered. I mean, not many people, even in the industry, don't know of it. We are trying to give this exposure to people. So because अभी जो सिलिब्रिटी में बैठा है तो उनका for them doing business is very different there. Because उनके लिए दो लोगों को मिलाने से धंधा होता है. But for a guy in Mumbai or Delhi, it doesn't work that way. He has to understand market at a very different level. For example, market को micro level पे समझना पड़ेगा, macro level पे समझना पड़ेगा. Because one is the local dynamics, one is the global dynamics. Because ईरान में अगर वार हो रहा है तो उसके ऊपर रिलेशन के ऊपर एक असर पड़ता है. कभी-कभी लोकल मार्केट का भी अलग असर पड़ता है. We try to generalize, a lot of things, which we want to address. Because see, and ये एक दिन में नहीं होता है. ये convention से change नहीं आता. It's just a catalyst. Every convention is a catalyst to change. We know of a lot of people today. आप अगर देखेंगे इनमें से 50% जो लोग हैं tier 2, tier 3 सिटी से आए हुए हैं. तो उनको एक एक्सपोजर जो 10 साल से मिला है कंसिस्टेंटली 10-15 साल से जो एक्सपोजर मिला है देयर एस्पेक्ट नाउ दे आर थिंकिंग ऑफ बिग दे आर ट्राइंग टू स्केल अप बिजनेस दे आर ट्राइंग टू स्केल अप द सर्विस आल्सो सो दिस इज समथिंग सी देयर आर टू काइंड्स ऑफ लर्निंग्स वन आप खाली सुन के सीखते हो दूसरा देख के सीखते हो तो द लर्निंग एक्चुअली वन काइंड ऑफ लर्निंग इज वेयर यू go learn in the classroom the other one is getting to see things with your own eyes so that's what we do here. So, and we try to deliberate relevant topics which are pertinent to the markets then. So they also get used to it, they get to understand those subjects. Because, see, मेरा relation का perspective वाला है, because I come from Hyderabad, my understanding of market is very different. Okay, so my dynamics are very different. Now we go to Pune, it's totally different. Gurgaon is a very different market. Now when we come here, we get to understand a different perspective. Now for me, I get to learn from him. Okay, so I get to learn from him. And I take back those learnings to become better in Hyderabad.
Sumant, if I may add, see, we are at the moment half a trillion economy. The Ministry of Housing and Niti Aayog under PMO, they want the real estate to be a 1 trillion economy in the next 3-4 years. The real estate brokerage plays a very, very important role. So, apart from what Ravi sir said, we are also into political advocacy. We are into educating our members to elevate their skills. So last year we did a course called CRS. It's a certified residential specialist course from US, which enhances the skills of our members. 80 of our members did it together, which was a record for them also. We're again doing that in September, where 100 of our members will do it. So all of them, when they elevate their skill, it helps them do business more. So that's our overall what we try and uplift the sector. At these events, now today we had Mr. Hiranandani talk about macro level things, how West Asia war is affecting us. A person who's come from Guwahati or Siliguri, they don't get the opportunity to listen to Mr. Hiranandani in person or meet him or take his views there. So they come here, it's like a breaking of ice between the superstars of real estate and the lowest level soldier who's working on this sector. So when they come here, they meet them, they meet Mr. Bhuvanirani. There was as Ashish said, a developer panel where Mr. Bhuvan is talking about how they plan their projects. So Sumant suggested that why don't you involve realtors in the planning as well. So he said, yes, that's a great idea, we'll do that. So all this breaks the ice, gets us more involved, gets more opportunities for our members to first interact with them, learn from them, and then do business. Eventually, it's all about doing business ethically, and that's what we are trying to do as an association. So we have CREDI and NAREDCO for developers. For realtors, the only credible body in this country is NAR-India, and that's what we do. But the media, but the media confuses realtors with developers. Suppose tomorrow someone is arrested for a RERA fraud, they say a realtor arrested, whereas realtor has nothing to do with it. He is just a real estate agent who is registered with NAR-US. It's a developer who gets under that lens. So we are also trying to educate everyone, not only educate even the media that realtors are different, developers are different, the government body is different. Sorry, Sumant, please.
So, So as Tarun just mentioned, right? So for instance, now if you look at the data points, a lot of data points are not relevant in the market today. Now most of the markets, if you see, I think the research reports especially are published by a few companies. Would
Yeah,
be
there
doing
are many organizations like Tarun which comes out with the data research.
now the data. If you really see, we know that we don't have the ecosystem to build the research report, but we at least know that the research reports are manipulated in India. Okay. Now, because we don't want to do it because we know that we don't have the ecosystem to capture all the information. Because we don't want to send a wrong message to people. Because if we don't know, we would like to say we don't know. But we don't want to tamper or manipulate. But most of our members, they know what is happening in the market because they're continuously engaging the client. Now, for example, if I'm interacting with 10 different clients, I know what is the mood of those 10 clients. If I'm working for 10 different projects, I know exactly what is happening with those 10 projects. Because as a developer, he only markets his projects. So at the most, he would understand what is happening with this product. But I'm working with 10 different developers. Okay, so I'm working with 10 different projects. So we exactly get to understand why there is demand for one project, why there is no demand for another product. Why there is demand for one developer, why there is no demand for another developer. And I'm not saying this, that based on the consumer's feedback, I'm getting to understand it. This is a real-time data we have, this is a real-time intelligence we can generate, which we are trying to build.
But I think you should be the right people to talk to these data research people because you have the facts and figures coming from across the country and it would in a way help influence decision for the buyers, for the industry per se, I think.
That's exactly what we're building now.
Because until now, it's a very select group of developers who come in, set up their own thing.
I say the research report is supposed to originally, if you ask me, should have come from the government. Because they have the ecosystem. See, they give the permissions, the municipal authorities give the permissions, then you have the revenue departments having the registration details, and you have the RERA authorities actually getting to understand the launches. Now, when the transaction happens, when the permission is given, the municipal authority know how much supply is going to come into the market. Okay. Then you have the RERA authorities, okay, who once they give the clearance, when it is coming into the market. Then you have the revenue department when it's registering, they get to know when it is when the transactions are happening. They're supposed to be aligned. Unfortunately, that is not happening. That's where actually these research companies are taking advantage.
Yeah.
Now, for example, you look at the research reports and you take the last 5-year data. So they themselves actually contradict their own research reports. This quarter, in one sitting, they say that the markets have really done well, and in the next quarter, they say markets have crashed. How can that happen? Because real estate is, unlike stock market, it is not so dynamic. It takes time for the markets to grow, and it takes the market to correct also.
So,
when you look at the supply today, now what is real supply and what is artificial supply? Now people talk of artificial demand, the speculation, but what is the artificial? See, the project which will be ready in 5 years from now, can you consider to be a supply this year? But it is considered to be supply. Okay. Now our transactions today, the registration that happens today is considered to be the reflection of a market today. But the registrations happen only after more or less after the deal comes to the delivery. Okay, so the booking would have happened 3 years ago. Now can you consider that as a data point? Now what research reports are doing is they are just manipulating data to their convenience. If they want the market to show the market is positive, they are bringing the data that is convenient to them. So
that's why you should be the one.
So that's exactly what we're trying to do now. So we see, because we wanted to build the infrastructure first. So as NAR-India, it took a time. See, the founders and the past leadership worked to build the foundation. Now we started to work on it. Now this year we are also getting we got something called IREC to India. Because IREC is International Leadership Conference, which is a event organized by NAR across the world. So we wanted to get it because we are also trying to get something called RPR, which is their product. So RPR is Real-Time Property Resource. It showcases the real-time information of a market. They built a product over a period